There's a question I wish I'd asked earlier because it would have saved me from wasting time on people who looked right, sounded right, and still were not ready. And what hit me hardest was this. I was often looking for chemistry when I should have been looking for capacity. You think you are looking for warmth. You think you are looking for someone who feels easy. But easy is not the same as solid. And if you have ever sat across from someone and thought, this feels good, so this must be right, then you already know how dangerous that can be. I know it, you probably know it too. And the real payoff is not just the question itself, it is what it shows you, what it protects you from, and how it can point both of you towards something better. Because that is the real trap. You think you are choosing a person when in reality you are often only reacting to a feeling. 1. What first dates hide. A first date is not the truth. It is the trailer. On a first date, I do not see the full person. You do not either. You see the polished version, the friendly version, the charming version, the please like me, I promise I am normal version. And honestly, that is fair. I do it too. You do it too. But the real relationship starts later. It starts when something feels off, when somebody feels misunderstood, when somebody gets quiet, when somebody gets defensive, when somebody realizes they are not being seen the way they wanted. That is when the mask gets heavy. That is when you do not meet charm anymore. You meet patterns. And psychology is very clear on this. People do not enter relationships as blank pages. They bring attachment habits, defense mechanisms, old fears, and emotional shortcuts with them. So when things get difficult, they often stop choosing and start reacting. And that reaction is usually faster than logic. That is why somebody can seem calm, kind, and emotionally available on Monday and completely different by Thursday. First dates do not show you the whole person. They show you the person's best editing. 2. The question that matters. So instead of asking what they like, what they want, or whether you are compatible, I would rather ask something much more revealing. Something like this. What happens to you when things get difficult in a relationship? Or even more directly, how are you hard to be with when you care about someone? That question matters because it does not just test them. It exposes them. And the right person usually does not get offended. They pause, they think, they answer honestly. Maybe they say, I shut down when I feel overwhelmed. I overthink things and assume the worst. I get defensive before I calm down. I withdraw when I feel cornered. That is not a red flag. That is useful. Because now I know what I am dealing with. Now I know whether I am talking to someone who has looked at themselves or someone who still thinks self-awareness is something other people need. And the funny part is, the most revealing answer is often not the answer itself. It is whether the person can stay open while giving it. 3. What avoidance sounds like. The other reaction is much less useful. You ask the question and you get confusion, deflection, a joke, irritation, or the classic, I do not have issues like that. Right, and I also do not have laundry, stress, or an ego that gets bruised, so apparently we are all doing great. But seriously, that reaction tells you a lot. Not because the person is evil, not because they are doomed, but because they are probably not used to looking at themselves without a filter. And if someone cannot name their own pattern, they usually end up acting it out. Not always loudly, not always dramatically, but consistently. That is where the trouble starts. Not in the fact that they have flaws, in the fact that they cannot see them. 4. Why chemistry is misleading. This is where dating gets messy. Chemistry feels like the main thing. It is not. Chemistry is the trailer. Conflict is the movie. A relationship does not show its strength when both people are happy, flirty, and well-rested. It shows its strength when one person feels hurt, the other person feels criticized, nobody wants to be wrong, and both people have to decide whether to listen, repair, or defend. That is the real test. And relationship psychology keeps pointing in the same direction. Strong relationships are not built by avoiding tension. They are built by handling tension well. That is also why compatibility is not really a starting point in the way people think. It is often something you build through repair, honesty, and repetition. In other words, you are not just looking for someone who is easy. You are looking for someone who can become understandable. That is also why repair matters so much. In relationship research, the ability to repair after tension is often more important than avoiding tension in the first place. 5. What the question filters for. This one question is powerful because it filters for 3 things: self-awareness, responsibility, and repairability. Can this person see their own patterns? Can they talk about their behavior without making every problem someone else's fault? Can they handle friction without collapsing into blame, shame, or escape? That is the real difference, not whether they are charming, not whether they say the right thing about communication, not whether they look good in soft lighting while holding a glass of wine. I mean, sure, that helps, but it does not build anything on its own. And if the foundation is missing, the relationship becomes very expensive very fast. Not only emotionally, also in time, energy, and nervous system damage. 6. What hit me hardest? What hit me hardest was realizing that I did not just need someone who could answer that question. I needed someone who could help me answer it too. That changes everything. Because now this is not about 2 people judging each other. It is about 2 people who know they both have scars, both have reactions, both have old wounds, and both are willing to stay curious when those wounds get touched. That is the part worth getting excited about. Not perfect people, not fearless people. 2 people who can say, this is where I get sensitive and this is where I can support you. That is stronger than pretending to have no problems. That is real safety. And real safety is what makes a relationship feel like a place, not a test. 7. Why this repeats. This is also why the same problems keep showing up in different relationships. Different person, same fight. Same feeling, same ending. That is not always bad luck. Sometimes it is just unexamined pattern meeting a new face. And if I never look at my own part, I will keep calling every repeat chemistry gone wrong when it was really just my old pattern getting another chance to run the show. That is painful, but it is also freeing. Because if the pattern can be seen, it can be changed. And that means the real work is not just finding someone who can handle you. It is becoming someone who can handle yourself when love stops being easy. 8. The better ending. So yes, ask the question, but do not stop at their answer. Listen for honesty, calmness, responsibility, and self-awareness. And then look for something better than perfection. Look for 2 people who know their scars, know their triggers, and are willing to help each other through them instead of pretending they do not exist. That is the real win. Not I found the flawless person. That person does not exist. The real win is, I found someone who can meet me honestly, and I can meet them honestly too. And when that happens, you are not just with the right person. You are both becoming the right people together.